Greetings of peace. My name is Ram Hotep, coming back at you with another episode, broadcasting on behalf of 13signastrology.com. On this particular episode, I want to talk about twin flames and soulmates. Now, I have a segment on my website, which is 13signastrology.com, up under the private video section, where I'm dealing with twin flames and soulmates. And I know many of you have seen that particular episode, have seen that particular segment. On this particular segment, I want to lay a foundation pertaining to twin flames and soulmates, but I want to kind of add on and add in some information that I didn't mention on the video I did about a year ago. Now, I've been doing twin flame readings for about the past year now, like hardcore, which means like I've been doing twin flame readings like every day, all day, or whatever, for different people for about a year now. And when I first really got into studying about twin flames, I mean, the idea was great. The idea is still great, and the idea is still beautiful. And then when I started to do readings, because I figured out a way and a method to be able to tell if a person is your twin flame or not. And when I started doing readings based on this particular method, I found out that there was a lot of different people out there, that a lot of people were with someone that could have been their twin flame. But then 2 or 3 months later, I would get an email from these same people, and it's like, or it would be maybe one party from the couple emailing me saying, well, I got another person for you I want to check out, and I wanted to see if this particular person is my twin flame because that person didn't work out, so that's not my twin flame. And that's really where I want to take this video. Like, that's the direction I want to take this video, as far as addressing that and addressing that particular issue that people are having. Now, people, the first thing you got to really understand is that when you start talking about twin flames and soulmates and stuff like that, there's work to be done before you can even get to the point to look at someone else and wonder if they're your twin flame or soulmate or not. And I know this is going to be really hard for a lot of people to understand. Yeah, you have people that are made for each other, because that's what most people think when they think about twin flames. You have people that are made for each other. It was written in the stars. They were supposed to be together, and that's basically their potential, their energy. Everything matches up. Everything lines up. You have that. But there's a big but to that. When that energy comes down from the heavens, and when that energy manifests here on this particular planet, challenges come up, because we live in the land of polarity. We live in the land of opposites. So your twin flame is someone that you shared the same soul with. You shared the same soul with in the beginning. This is the other counterpart to your soul. You see, when you look into your natal chart, you're looking into your soul. This is the mirror of your soul. That's what your natal chart really truly is, and that's why people don't understand it. So when you start talking about a twin flame, this is someone that was there with you, a part of you, your very essence in the beginning, when you were a soul. When you were a soul. Not when you were a physical body. And that's where people kind of get it twisted at. They kind of get it twisted there because they feel like, well, it's just someone, they were there for me when we were, basically, God made me and then they made them, type of thing. And that person is potentially my twin flame or soulmate, this person that's out here, a potential person that's out there. And that's true. That's true. We do have people out there, or what I would like to call, and that's what I'm going to name this video, is we do have twin flame potentials. Twin flame potentials. But before I get into helping you to understand what the whole twin flame potential concept is about, I have to help you to understand what twin flames are essentially and what soulmates are. Now, a twin flame is someone that, like I said, they were there with you from the beginning. When your script was written in the very beginning as a soul, in this particular cycle, and that's what I'm going to talk about when I get into the potential, in this particular cycle. So when your soul was updated and created for this particular cycle, you had a masculine counterpart and a feminine counterpart that was a part of the whole, because your soul is a being in and of itself. It's a being. It's an intelligent being, and it doesn't necessarily always agree with your body, or what the Egyptians call your kat, or your animal, your flesh. Your soul doesn't always agree with that. Your soul is an intelligent entity, and it's asexual. Your soul is asexual. So when we were created as souls, now this is talking about as souls, before we were created as physical bodies, we had a counterpart, a feminine counterpart. And then when we decided to incarnate as souls to this particular planet and into this particular density and on this particular dimension, we separated. The energy separated. So we were all one. Your soul is a being. And this is how you get into understanding the concept of soul groups, soul mates, and twin flames. This is how it's done. So your soul is a communal being. It's really a group of beings, believe it or not. It's actually more than just two. And it's asexual, meaning that it has a feminine aspect to it and it has a masculine aspect to it. And when your soul incarnated, it incarnated into various different beings. Some of the ancients taught that each particular person out here has up to 7 different doubles, people that act just like them and even look just like them, like on this planet. You may not know them, you may not have ever seen them, but everybody here has at least 7 doubles. This is what a lot of the ancients taught, a lot of the yogis taught, that everybody has 7 different duplicates here on this planet. And when you start to understand the concept of twin flames and soulmates, you're going to find out that when you first incarnated here, you incarnated as a soul, and then that soul split into different groups, and those groups became tribes. And each of those groups was basically divided up into male and female, stemming from the same soul. So this is when you get into the concept of a soul group. It was divided up into male and female in the very beginning of your incarnation here, whenever this took place in this particular cycle. So the male and female shared the soul out of those different 7 groups. So even in the very beginning, upon incarnating here, there's up to 14 different people that are in your soul group in the very beginning. But then what you got to remember is that people, they meet people, people reproduce, people come in contact with other people. And when people come in contact with other people, of course, and have babies and stuff like that, these people are a part of your soul group as well, or a part of your star heritage as well, and they stem from your star heritage. So this is called your soul group. Soul group. So when you start talking about soul mates, your soul mate is anyone that's in your soul group, whether male or female. It doesn't mean you're going to marry them. It doesn't mean you're going to kiss them. It has nothing to do with anything sexual. Your soul mate can be your mother. Your soul mate can be your father. It could be your child. Your soul mate is one that was there with you in the beginning when your soul first incarnated. Now, everybody that's in your family is not always your soulmate, or your soulmate, because we're talking about soulmates right now. Just because you like, well, I look just like my dad, so that's probably my soulmate. That doesn't mean that's your soulmate. You're like, well, I look just like my mama, so I know that's my soulmate. That might not be your soulmate, because the soulmate, beloveds, is predicated upon contracts that were signed in the beginning. And sometimes soulmates find themselves in the same family, and sometimes they don't. It's not always the case or whatever. But the twin flame, this is when it gets really interesting. Now, the twin flame is one that not only were they there with you from the beginning, but they were your male or female counterpart. They have the other half of your potential within their cosmic shell, or their body, or their soul, or I guess you could say their separate soul, the one that they contain. Because the ancients taught that, and I know I'm bouncing around as I always say, but the ancients taught that you have 2 souls, the oversoul and then the individual soul, where you have individual experiences. It's kind of like a computer that has 2 hard drives in it. You got these computers that have 2 hard drives in it, and one of them kind of backs up the information, and then you have the main hard drive, where you have your oversoul, which is basically the part of you that connects to the soul group, but then you have the individual soul. And within that individual soul, there's contracts written and agreements written. So your twin flame is one who basically signed a contract to not only meet you in this life, signed a contract to meet you in this life, but they were there with you from the beginning when the energy first manifested. This is one of your female counterparts that has half of your potential in them. It doesn't mean you're not a complete being without them. Doesn't mean that, because I don't teach the better half concept. But this person has the other aspect, or the polar opposite to your energy. The aspects of your energy, some of the attributes that you may not have developed or that are laying dormant and latent in you. This particular person manifests those particular attributes. This is what the twin flame is. But in that, beloved, you have to remember that just because someone signed a contract or you guys were quote unquote made for each other in the universe, however it happened, you don't have to agree with my concept, but however this thing happens when two people are made for each other, just because they're made for each other does not mean that no work has to be done. That's not the case, beloved. And that's where people go wrong at. You see, because you're not going to really be able to get the most out of your twin flame and be able to appreciate your twin flame if you have not found your soul's mission. Your soul's mission. This is very important. You see, you have a soul. Every soul has a mission. Not outside of the twin flame, something that they signed up that they were going to experience, something that they signed up for that they were going to bring into this incarnation. And you have a mission. And if you're not on your mission, a twin flame is no good for you. It's no good for you because it's not going to serve you a purpose, you see, because when you start talking about twin flames, you're talking about potential. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about twin flame potential. And a twin flame, when they sign a contract to say they're going to do X, Y, and Z, this is a life agreement. This is a life agreement. This isn't something where you just lay in the bed with somebody and kiss all on them and, do all this foreplay and licking all over their thighs and, you know what I'm saying, and doing all of this different stuff and watching TV and watching all these good movies together. And then, you go to your job, she goes to her job, and one day a baby comes into play and you take the baby to daycare and, you're living like two good people in the Matrix. Cool. That's cool. But that's not what twin flames do. And if you are saying, well, am I with my twin flame? I want to know if I'm with my twin flame. That's cool to inquire about it, but remember, you're just going into the potential, beloved. You're going into the potential aspect. When you look into your natal chart, you're looking at potential. Not even just when it comes to twin flames. Like if I say you have the ability to be a healer, because I tell people in certain readings, or you have the ability to be a musician, or you have the ability to be a doctor, or you have the ability to be a preacher. When I tell people that, I'm telling you about your potential. You have to make that kinetic. The natal chart is potential energy. That's all it is. Tendencies, past life blockages, and things that you can tap into and grab. You got to look at it like it's a bank. It's a bank full of just stuff. But it's up to you to go into the bank and get you an account, set up an account, take out the monies you need so you can make that money work for you. The money is there in the bank, but that don't mean you're going to have anything just because you got some money in the bank. You got to make the money work for you so you can get things. Well, that's how it works when it comes to your natal chart. And when you start talking about twin flames, you have to look at your life mission. And are you doing it? Are you on your path? Especially as a male, though. Especially as a male more so. Female, I'm not knocking females because, I'm not trying to teach sexism here or anything like that, because a female has a potential and a life mission too. Men and women alike have life missions, but the dynamic of when you get into a relationship as a male and the responsibility and duty as a male is different than it is for the female. So the male has to know his mission because the male is the vision. He supplies the vision in the relationship. He has to know where he is going. And the woman, usually, if she loves that man and if that's her twin flame, she's going to already agree with the vision because that's going to be her vision. So what happens is that she beautifies the vision and the mission. But when there is no mission, a people perish. You see, you have to have a mission, brother, man, male. You have to know your mission. And then once you know that and you're on the path of your mission, then you can start looking at twin flames and the concept of twin flames. Because in order to fulfill the contract, the two people that became twin flames and signed up on the other side saying that they were going to be twin flames in this particular cycle and they were going to do something with their lives together, that was in the contract. See, a twin flame is not just laying in the bed. And you say, well, that's doing something wrong, Jose. What if that's what I signed up for, was to lay in the bed and watch TV? That's not in the contract, beloved, because there's no TVs in the contract. You see, the contract is not based on linear, mundane things in the matrix. That's not the angels and the ascended masters and the people that you sign the contracts with, the elders. They don't know anything about no TV and you sitting in the bed with popcorn and going to the movie theater every weekend with your twin flame. I'm not saying don't do that, because I like to have fun. I'm a Leo, so you guys know Leos, and Brahm Hotep in particular likes to have fun. I like to go out. I like to dance. I like to do all the other stuff people do. So I'm not getting religious with you here. I don't want you to lose me. I'm not getting religious with you here, but I'm saying you have to have a mission, whether it's playing basketball or whether it's playing football, or you have to have basically something that you know, like, okay, I'm going to do this, and this is where I want to go with this particular mission that I'm on. And it doesn't have to be money motivated. It could be a nonprofit. It could be helping children. But whatever that is, beloved, you're going to find a woman, she's going to complement that. And that's what your twin flame, that's what it really is all about. That's what it really should be all about. So before you get into thinking that, oh, I got this twin flame out here, and I just need to meet her, and that's when my life will be better, and you're miserable, but you're miserable right now, you thinking about meeting a twin flame, it doesn't work like that, buddy. It doesn't work like that, sister. You have to already be at peace with yourself. You have to be happy with yourself. You're going to have times where you're depressed. I'm not saying you have to be perfect. So that's when people get out. They get all this perfection thing. But you have to be pretty much at peace. Like generally, like, okay, I'm at peace. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like if I meet someone, I'm going to be happier, of course. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to share their life with someone. We're naturally like that. You know what I'm saying? So if I meet someone, I'm going to be happy with that. But at the same time, I'm so happy with my mission. I'm so happy with what I'm doing that I don't necessarily need that to get by. See, that's what you're looking for when you look for a twin flame, and when you look for a soulmate. That person was there with you from the beginning. But again, it's potential. It's potential, beloved. So you have to make that potential kinetic. You have to do the work. I can't stress that enough. I do so many readings for people, and I love to tell you the potential, because don't get me wrong, and I want to say this here. Just because, like, you can't just meet someone off the street and look at them and say, oh, that's my twin flame, we're going to make it work. You're going to have to get, if you really talking about you with your twin flame, you're going to have to know your natal chart. You're going to have to know their natal chart. You're going to have to get your natal chart done, because of the fact that twin flames, this is an awesome relationship that they have, that people that are in it, the two parties that are in the relationship have to share this union with so many people that each individual has to know themselves 100%. See, if one party doesn't really know themselves as much as the other party, then that's where problems come in at. Both parties have to know themselves. So you do need a natal reading, or some type of reading, or whatever done, or whatever, on an energy level, so that you can look at potential. But again, just because that astrologer or that psychic or whoever tells you, oh yeah, you guys are definitely twin flames, that doesn't mean a damn thing. That doesn't mean a damn thing. And then you can have more than one twin flame. That's right, I said it. You can have more than one twin flame. There's not just one. And I know you're like, well, I thought that was the person that I was there with the beginning, and we shared the same energy. You just said that in the video, and we shared the same soul, and we signed this contract together. So it's only one person like that, right? Wrong. Because of the fact that, remember I told you, your soul, you have the oversoul. And remember I told you that oversoul went into various different bodies and various different beings in the beginning. And each of these beings reproduced and signed contracts with other beings and made agreements with other beings. All of these particular beings that were part of your soul group didn't necessarily get with their twin flame, but instead they passed on their energy and gave their energy over and passed that down to another child. And that particular child or that particular entity could have energy similar to your energy. So that's what, like, when I start talking about the concept of having more than one twin flame, you have to look at it like, basically, you have a soul, but it's multiple people that you share this soul with. So you have the potential for more than one. That's right. That's right. You have the potential for more than one, because the universe operates, it's a hologram. It's called the holographic universe. So you have to always remember that the microcosm is the macrocosm. You see, so we're all connected. And there's always going to be more than one opportunity in a matrix, period. There's never one way. Just like some people think it's one way to make it to God. There's not one way to do anything in a matrix, because if you understand the concept of math, even the concept of one can be divided into many. So there's never one. There's never one. So you have more than one person that you could potentially make this agreement with. And that's what a lot of psychics and stuff like that, they're not going to agree with me on this, and they're going to tell you something different. And you know, like they may, I'm not saying a lot, but some of them may say, oh, you're just saying this off the top of your head or whatever. No, it makes mathematical sense. It's not just one person that shares the same soul and energy with you, because in your natal chart, there's different people that have similar natal charts. And these people that have similar natal charts, other things had to be taken into account. But these people that have similar natal charts have the potential to be twin flames. When it's a certain science that, you know, I myself as an astrologer, something, it's a key and a code that I look at to rate people, twin flame, soulmates, level 4 twin flame, level 2 twin flame, or whatever. But at the end of the day, I can tell you you're a level 4 twin flame, which is the highest, but it's not going to mean anything. It's not going to mean anything if you don't make it into a reality and make the energy kinetic. So back to my point, you can have more than one. That's right, you can have more than one. So just remember that. Like if it doesn't work with one particular person, or that particular person may not have found their mission. Like you may know yours and the potential may be there, but that particular person just not seeing the mission and the vision the way you're seeing the mission and the vision for whatever reasons. Maybe they're just not ready right now. So maybe that was the agreement that you guys signed up as twin flames. Maybe that particular agreement was based on you fulfilling the contract and helping them to find their mission. And then maybe you did enough and you did your job, and that person has to go on their own and go on their own mission and maybe meet up with another twin flame to go to the next level, or maybe you guys will meet back up. But at the end of the day, you have to keep going, and you do have more than one. You do have the potential for another twin flame to come into play. Now, your soulmate, you can get with your a particular soulmate. The relationship won't be as dynamic. It won't be as magical. So you have to remember, a twin flame relationship, what makes it different is it's magical. Usually the way you meet your twin flame is magical. It's not the norm. Like everything, it goes against all rules. Like it's not like you just met this person at work, or you met this person at church and it's somebody you knew all the time, and then you guys decided to get married and your parents arranged it. And the conventional Saturn structural way of doing things. It's not exactly like that. With your twin flame, is magical. It sparks. There's, what I'm saying, the enigma, the mystery, things that can't be explained, the occult. See, that's all centered around the twin flame relationship, and that's how you know you've met someone like that. You can get with the soulmate. Again, it's going to be a little bit more mundane. It's going to be not as magical. But if you're just in it for a relationship and for compatibility purposes, and you are one of those people, you're in the matrix, and you're just like trying to work a job and come home, you're not really trying to have this ultimate mission, then you probably should get with a soulmate. Because the reason why I say that is because if you decide to get with a twin flame, you can mess your life up. You can mess your life up if you live in this regular life and you decide to get with your twin flame. When twin flames come together, the universe changes. This very structure of the universe changes. The very aura that the universe emits changes just because these two beings, ancient beings that signed a contract together, finally made it back to each other. And the ancestors, they clap for that. The angels, they clap for that. Like the spirits, man, I mean, they're happy when they see two people unite together as one. But with potential comes responsibility, comes challenge. We all have challenges to meet, challenges to face, and when you get with your twin flame, you're going to be tested based upon the energy, like as dynamic as the energy that you guys share together in the fourth dimension, because this is going on in the fourth dimension. Even though you guys meet in the third and kiss and stuff like that, there's a relationship going on in the fourth dimension too, and the archons see that. The dark beings see that. They don't like that shit. The reason why they don't like that shit is because of the fact that they know that this new energy is about to be created. And this new energy is based upon love, real love that never gets a chance to make it to the planet unless it's through a twin flame relationship. And they hate that because they hate love. They hate positive vibrations because they know love changes things. They know that in order for them to rule this matrix, which they do pretty successfully, they need to do it off of fear, off of depression, off of disagreement. And they know that when two twin flames get together, they're about to dead all of that. And then they know the people that see these two twin flames merge together as one are going to try to follow that particular prototype. So what I'm going to say and shut this video down here is this. When you get with your twin flame, beloved, your relationship becomes a model, a prototype. You become like Osiris and Isis, Aset and Asatu. That's what Isis and Osiris were. They were twin flames. You see, they were twin flames. That's why they couldn't be separated. Even after he died, she still had a connection with him because they were twin flames. And that particular story was giving you an example of how the twin flame relationship plays out. There was more than one Asatu. I'll do a video on it one day. There was more than one Aset or Isis. People think about Isis and Asatu and they think there's one. There's more than one Tahuti. There's more than one Melchizedek. See, these are concepts you need to understand, because if you understand these concepts of how there's more than one Melchizedek, more than one Tahuti, you'll understand why you have more than one twin flame. Because you'll understand when energy manifests and comes down, and when it descends, it can descend into more than one vessel. And that's the concept that I wanted to get out as far as twin flames. Is there's more than one. You have a responsibility. If you're going to get with them, you need to find your life mission. You need to live in your life mission first before you decide that you're going to get with your twin flame. You need to be happy with you as a being. Men, you need a twin flame to make it to the next level. You need that counterpart to perfect your vision, to perfect your ideas. That's what a woman is going to help you to do if she's truly your twin flame. She's going to love you and love doing it. So you need that to make it to the next level if you are to truly master your mission and your life's work here in this matrix. So I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go ahead and shut this video down. We do relationship compatibility readings via 13signsastrology.com. If that interests you, visit the link below. Until we meet again, I'm going to leave you all in peace, love, and light.